Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at Azzilon Castle for a 450 plus monk. I think it's technically viable from like level 400, but I had a pretty hard time when I first came here. I never ended up dying, so I've hunted here for quite a long time without dying, so it's definitely manageable, but it is hard. So I'm going to recommend it for 450 plus. Honestly, even 500 plus is not a bad idea. If you haven't hunted here before, you don't know what you're doing, maybe you want to wait until a little bit later. Anyway, outside of that, the results here are really, really great. It's one of the top tier respawns for this level monk. It's just a tiny bit below the top tiers. Currently, I would consider Cobra Bastion, Cobra Basement, and Nagas to be like the S tier respawns for this level monk. And this one is just a notch below that. You just a little bit worse, a little bit less profit, a little bit more difficult, but still very, very good. Definitely highly recommend it. Very, very good respawn. Overall tier rating I give it S minus. The experience you can expect here is somewhere between like 6.4 to 6.8 kk per hour. So as you can see, I have two analyzers here on the left and on the right. On the left, I think I had charms in both of those. I didn't have any praise in either of those analyzers. And you can see I was peaking at almost 7 kk raw here. However, this is with full animus. So without animus, it's a little bit less than that, obviously. Profit is somewhere between 6 to 800k per hour. I find it's pretty stable. I basically get the same amount of profit every single time I'm here. So it's not a super profitable respawn, but it's, still profit. And the mighty demonic essences or whatever they are for the access on my server around 7 to 8k, I think. So not like super expensive either. So it's not like that's where the profit is coming from. Difficulty, I give it overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. I actually don't think it's super, super difficult. You're just kind of walking around a loop. You do have to be careful. So, 8 out of 10 difficulty is difficult, right? But it's not like unbelievable that you're going to be dying all the time or anything. The one thing that I find difficult about this respawn is the intensity. You get no breathing room at all. You basically, you come here for an hour, you're going to spend an hour running around casting spells and just being in a always on the verge of making a mistake and dying. So that's the difficult part about this respawn. But it's not too bad. It's not like impossible or anything like that. Like I said, I've done full bestiary here, so I've been here for like 15 hours plus, and I haven't died a single time. So even though it has been intense, has been difficult, it's not like it's not that crazy. Anyway, as you can see, bestiary about 7 hours for the two main ones, which you care about, and then 15 hours for Gorgia, which is not as important. So requirements, like I say, level 450 plus minimum, I think, 500 plus to be extra safe. There's no access quest, you'll just need to talk to the NPC to access Azzilon, and this place can be effectively hunted by monks, knights, and paladins. I don't expect anybody else to hunt here. I don't know, I've put no's for duos and, sorry, that's definitely wrong. It's definitely a yes for duos and full team hunts. People definitely hunt here, duos and full team ones. I haven't seen a single mage hunt here ever. I don't know that it's impossible. I think like a high enough level can obviously hunt here, but I think it's going to not be that great, and you're going to have to be pretty damn high level. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it as a maybe, but I don't think it's too great. Recommended imbuements all standard, and death protection very highly recommended. Very much a lot of death damage. Especially if you come here at like level 450, 500, definitely have that death protection. If you come in at level 800, you can probably get away with not having it, but yeah, definitely on a low level, you definitely need it. Recommended weapon type is energy, so you really want to have your soul mass. Supplies per hour around 1600 ultimates, 6 transcendence potions per hour. I don't have those in supply analyzer because I actually forgot them for the hunt I was recording. For charms, I recommend Freeze on Brood Rider, Zap on Sin Eater, and whatever else decent you have on the Gorger. I think you could probably just go full crit setup as well, especially if you have fully upgraded weapon proficiency on the Soul Mass. You could go like Low Blow on Brood Rider, Savage Blow on Sin Eater, and then I think Freeze or Zap actually on the Gorger. I don't remember exactly which one's best. Anyway, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Any sort of elemental / crit combination should be pretty similar here. For the wheel, I recommend Ascetic with lesser gems with flat hit points, and the character you'll see in the video is a level 490 monk with 110 fist and 45 magic level. And yeah, I basically just stay on the surface. This is the level I hunt. So first thing I'll mention is if you do end up running out of respawn, you can go down. You can levitate down here in the middle and pick up an extra big pull on the level below. I have not needed to do that on my level. I just hunted here solo on this little section. But yeah, something to keep in mind. If you're running out of respawn, then by all means, you can always levitate down and pick up an extra extra big pull down there. Anyway, when I come in here, you come in through here, you come in from the south, and I just basically just run in, and I just run. Okay, and I just run, 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 run. Try to pull out the monsters from the crevices, kind of like that, and then just run, 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 run. And that's it. You don't actually often do any pulls in any particular area because there's so many monsters and they do so much damage. If you were, for example, to stand here in this little area with like 20 Infernox around you, you would just like die. So it's not really worth it. I personally recommend just doing like a full-on kiting playstyle running around. There are a few places where you can do those stops, and I do sometimes do them. You may see it once or twice in the video. There's one space in here on the right where if you want to instead of pulling all the monsters out, you can actually run in and just stop here and do a little sort of wall box by the bones that are sticking out the ground over there, and that's okay. That's an okay one there as well. I think there's one that you could consider doing out here. Oh yeah, also I didn't show here. You also kind of want to run in here sometimes to pull out the monsters from the central room. I don't often do a pull in the central room. Instead, I sort of like go in from the south here and on the north. I just go in and I try and pull out the monsters and then pull them around in a loop. And yeah, that's basically it. You just kind of do one big circle, trying to pull out as many monsters from all the corners as possible. There's also make sure to be picking up the monsters from the southern section by the entrance. There's quite a lot of monsters there. And yeah, you basically just kind of running around. You can stop to do a wall box, like if you have like 5, 6 monsters left. But ideally, you just want to be running, 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 and killing everything and having it follow you all the time. And that's where the 10 out of 10 intensity here comes, because you basically never ever stop. So it's super intense. But anyway, overall, great respawn. Like I said, not quite the absolute top tier like the Nagas and the Cobras, but it's just a little bit below. So very, very good spot. Definitely recommend checking it out. Also a great team hunting spot for the monk as well. So definitely check it out. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.